Hi, today we'll be talking about the grammar translation method of teaching a foreign language. By the end of this session, you should understand what grammar translation is, be able to implement it in the classroom, and understand some of its limitations as a teaching method. What is the grammar translation method? Well, it comes from the study of ancient Greek and Latin, which for hundreds of years students have been translating into their native languages and then back into the language of the original text. So students study grammar rules and grammatical structures and use them to do their translations. It's a lot of focus on reading and writing and not really on the spoken language or on pronunciation or on listening. What does this look like in a classroom? It's probably similar to how you were taught any foreign language that you may have studied when you were in school. The teacher writes a lot of structures on the board. Students copy them down in their notebooks. There's a lot of memorization of rules and vocabulary. It might be implemented with a lot of worksheets. So like fill in the blanks or reading comprehension questions. Lists of synonyms and antonyms, and teachers use students' writing to evaluate their progress in the language. And again, it's mainly written and not spoken. So here's an example of the grammar translation method that you have probably seen before. The teacher writes an example on the board of a grammatical structure, in this case, the future tense. So we have subject plus will plus a verb in its infinitive form. I will study tomorrow. So here's another example using the same sentence. In English, I will study tomorrow. And then in Spanish, underneath, yo estudiaré mañana, so that the students can compare between the two languages in order to translate and better understand. This would be an example of the grammar translation method as it's often used in the classroom. The teacher writes down a list of words in the native language and in the foreign language, and the students copy it down and use it to study. So, of course, there are some drawbacks to the grammar translation method. This focuses entirely on reading and writing, and there's no time devoted to speaking and listening, which are essential for actually learning to communicate in most languages that are living languages. Some people might get bored of only reading and writing and have a desire to speak also. And finally, if we look at how humans naturally acquire a language, it's not through reading and writing. When a child is learning, they listen and then they speak first. Can you imagine trying to teach a 2-year-old how to read a book when they're still trying to express to you their basic needs? So that's all we have to say today about grammar translation.
Practica en la ciudad. Diviértete aprendiendo idiomas.